And I'm going to talk today about a girl named Esther, okay? Talk about a girl named Esther. And Esther was a young Jewish girl who lost her parents. She was orphaned. She became the queen of Persia. So she went from orphan to queen, okay? And Mordecai, the cousin who raised her, he became aware of a plot that was against the Jews. They were going to be annihilated. They wanted them killed. And he basically said to Esther, hey, this is your time. You have a position. You have some authority. This is an opportunity for you to step up and do something. So we're going to read from Esther 4 right now. And it's kind of like one of those scenes in a movie, you know, where there's a messenger who's running back and forth to two different people and giving messages. That's what we're about to experience. So Esther 4:10 says, then she instructed him to say to Mordecai, all the king's officials and all the people of the royal provinces know that for any man or woman who approaches the king in the inner court without being summoned, the king has but one law, that they be put to death, unless the king extends his golden scepter to them and their lives be spared. But 30 days have passed since I was called to go before the king. So she basically says, hey, Mordecai, I get it. I hear what you're saying, but there's this law. I will be killed if I approach my husband, the king. If I go before him, I could be killed. And also, just so you know, it's been 30 days since he wanted to see me because he's been with other women. So it's been 30 days. I appreciate that you're telling me this, but yeah, I'm not really into it. So when Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he tells her, he sends back this answer. Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And you've probably heard this before, who knows? But that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Mordecai says, hey, I get it. You're scared. But don't think that because you're sitting in the palace now that you're going to escape this. Remember, no one knows you're a Jew. And when they find out, they're going to kill you too. By the way, Esther, God is going to have his way. He's going to have his will. You're just going to miss the opportunity to partner with him in accomplishing that. And Esther, what if every single moment of your life has led you to this very moment right now? And so she hears that, and this is where I really love Esther's response. I think we can learn so much. She says, so then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai, go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And here we go, listen, if I perish, I perish. She basically says, you know what, you're right. Okay, fine, I'll do it. I just need you to go before me. I need you to pray for me. I need you to beg God on my behalf, and I'm going to prepare my heart. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go, and you know what? Whatever happens, happens. If I die, I die. She was willing to surrender everything, even her life. If I perish, I perish. Esther saw the opportunity that was placed right in front of her, and she stepped into it. And so my question for all of us today is this: do we see the opportunities that God presents us every single day to step into? Do we see those opportunities? We are called for such a time as this, for this moment in our lives. God is just waiting for us to accept that. I know that when I was in college, I was always like, man, what is God's will for my life? And what does he want me to do? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But I do think it's also pretty clear what he wants us to do. We can look at Micah 6:8. It says, the Lord has told you what is good. This is what the Lord wants from you. Are you ready? And this is what he requires: to do what is right, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before your God. So every single season of our lives gives us opportunities to do what is right, to love to love mercy, and to walk with our God. Every single season prepares us for something else. And so I think if you were to look at your season right now, there are certain people that you have influence over. You have a job that you have been given. There are moments and opportunities for you to walk in the call. And I know that sometimes it's easy for us to feel like we don't have those moments because we're just something. You can fill in the blank, right? I'm just a mom. I'm just a kid. I'm just a woman. I'm just a man. I'm just a nobody. Like, I'm not a queen. I don't live in a palace. There's no one waiting for me to save the day. But I want you to know there are no justs. There are no justs. God has called you to this moment for this season.